for argument's
We
sake.
always go
I
too
have
easy on
books,
the
scrolls,
scum.
potions, anything
Yeah?
for friends and
What do you
family.
want? Information? What do you mean? Let me see. That's not very much, but fine. A couple of moons ago, I had a really strange guy as a customer. He wore 2 sabers, like those coal people do, but when he moved, he was really swift about it. I think he was an assassin, as they call them. Quiranian contract killers. You can hide within a fortress, but they'll find you. Somehow break into your room and kill you in your sleep. And unlike those everyday scroungers, they know how to wield a sword, like Loram Waterblade did. Who knows? What? That wasn't enough? Huh. Let me think. Yeah. There was that wench once. Nothing unusual, you could say, especially nowadays, but apparently the bandits were led by a mage. And, well, green fire, lightning, the living dead rising from the ground, a wild mage. In other words, one of those sinistropes. But she also knew elemental magic like the keepers do. I wouldn't want to come across someone like her.
Hungry
Walk
for-
blessed.
I have books. Potions, anything. Friends of path-abiding magic.
That must have been due to its sheer glory, brought forth by Malthus himself. Telor Arnfield has
No,
returned.
I just put them
Yes,
out for you to
you've
look
heard
at.
right.
Tell me what you need, and be quick about it. Walker blessed.
The lost heir. Throne, son of
Yes?
Boreas, has, after decades of
Walk.
imprisonment by his treacherous son, returned to his position as Grand Master of the Holy The esteemed Trakesha, Natara Dal Varim, thereby returns to her position. Second in command, and no one else but Telor Arundel himself shall lead this holy city from this day on. His fearless leadership shall be what helps us find our way through
No,
this
I just put them out for you to look at.
Oh, brothers and
Tell me
sisters,
what you need, and be
cherish
quick
and
about it.
thank the Lord for his mercy.
Blessed. Yeah? No, I just put them out for you to look at. Tell. Walker blessed.
My sir?
That? By Malthus, where did you get that? You didn't buy it from that cutthroat, did you? Please, let me see it. I need to know it's real. By the name of the sun, yes, that's hers. And Vera was right. I don't know why you're doing this, but thank you. This really means a lot. What? No, Bella, she was my daughter. She left us one moon's turn and a day. Flesh maggots, she... A week before we found out, she had met this young man. Oh, you should have seen her. There was so much life in her, so much joy. And then, all of a sudden... No, it just isn't fair. You did. I'm sorry to hear that. She was a poet, you know. She could play the lute and sing like no other. And she even taught herself how to write. Vera, my companion, and I, we thought she would one day travel through the lands. What am I saying? I'm sure you have better things to do than listen to me grieving. But in case you want to know how her lute ended up in that and only 3 weeks after Bella left us, a Duneville caravan that carried a year's load of iron for us got robbed. But of course, neither that nor our loss made any difference to that cutthroat golfer, and he threatened to get me thrown into jail if I wouldn't pay by the first day of Star Summer Night. Well, I suppose you can... The loot was precious, and we didn't have a choice. But still, it felt like selling a pup, and until now we had nothing left of her, save for the casket. Her treasure chest, that's what she called it. She kept her songs and poems in there, and she would never show anything to anyone unless she considered it perfect. You know how poets are. And now she's gone, and only she knows how to open the casket. Aye, I should. But the casket was a present I made for her myself, and I made... But, simply put, there are 4 bolts that need to be pushed in a certain order, and only then will it open. Of course, I could smash it, but who knows what would happen to her things. If I somehow destroyed them, I would never forgive myself. Yes, left, right, left, down. But that's not all. The bolts have to be pushed 12 times. Aye, I'm quite sure she did. Vera and I have ideas as to where, but at the moment I can't afford to spend a single day without work. Look, you were very generous to me. I know it's a lot to ask for, but do you think you could help us find the other hints? Thank you. I'm not asking this lightly, but you seem like a good fellow, and that is rare these days. Bella loved this book of poetry, the Red Ballads. And there was one particular edition she always rented from the I hardly have any coin left to borrow it, but I'm almost sure she left a hint there. Aye, there was a place Bella always visited when she had spare time. She worked on her poems there, I think. It's not far... There. If she left another clue, it must have been there. Thank you. I mean it. I will pray for you.
Malthus's blessings. They just don't respect the elders anymore. Not at all.
My sir.
Work, work, work. Life isn't easy.
Well, there comes a point when you just have to live with it. Monsieur?
Malthus blessings.
Yes, they are, but only to members of the Order. Sorry. I'm sure the smiths at the marketplace are willing to...
Walk blessed. Walk blessed.
Huh. An arcanist, aren't you? Well, I hope your name is on the register. Last thing Enderal needs right now are more wild
A foreigner, huh? What a surprise.
Watch yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day.
Yes? Yes?
What?
An outlander? Isn't this nice?
Looking for passage, are you? Forget about it. With all them sodding walls everywhere, nobody's safe.
Yes?
In no bed, sorry.
my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Rumors circulate.
No, I just put them out for you to look at. Tell me what you need, and be quick about it.
That befalls peaceful souls, driving them to deeds of pathless atrocity.
Walk blessed.
You're not from here, are you? I heard you talk.
My sir? Definitely more comfortable than... You know, I decided kind of bold, yes. But, well, but you know, and all of it, how is that supposed to fit into their worldview? They can't really know. I probably made it sound... Sure, take a look. Walk blessed.
Yes?
It just doesn't work, Magister, no matter how hard I try. On rocks I stood.
Yes, and there you have the problem. You try.
I'm afraid I do not follow, Master.
Okay,
yes.
I'll admit, it was a little cryptic. Tell me, do you remember the lecture Magister Diana gave last week?
Yes, I think I do. You mean the one she held a few days before that thing with Magister Yarrow happened?
Yes, exactly. Do you also remember how she described the workings of magic?
Malphus blessings, monsieur. Are you looking for something to read? By the, put that away! Are you mad? Don't go around showing these, apart from the fact that the pathless murderer wrote them, they're forbidden. I once had an idiot of an assistant who had the marvelous idea of buying these on the black market. Probably thought it'd impress me. Would have gotten us both into the Undercity if I hadn't noticed it before the Order did. Well, they haven't always been. You know the story. At first, the Order reprinted them, thinking it would be a wonderful scare story to keep people on the right. However, that didn't work out as they thought. People were fascinated by the story rather than appalled by it, and some even started imitating his crimes. You know, killing criminals for justice. Some bards even wrote songs about the Butcher of Ark, path-abiding on the surface, but full of morbid fascination underneath. After some years, yes, it was Truchessa Nataro del Verum, actually, who issued the decree. Nowadays, owning these books is forbidden and punished by a significant prison sentence. And the Order tries to burn every... Well, if they had, you wouldn't be holding one, my friend, would you? Blazes, did you listen to a word I said? You're not getting any here if that's what you're asking. Look for... and you might be careful parading around with these for another reason as well. The Order isn't the only one looking for them. Just some moons ago, the two guards... Yes, the one the Butcher of Ark wrote himself. I assume the thieves were hoping it contained the forbidden passage about Jael Tannerson's initiation. Well, long story short, you're treading on dangerous ground here. If it's a story you want, I recommend you get yourself something else to read. You name it, I got it.
You're not from around here, are you?
Of this holy city.
Who are you?
Many of you may have heard it already.
Mm-hmm.
Monsieur? Yes?
Huh? Can I help you?
Walk blessed.
I thought so. I see. Vera was the one who thought of looking inside that book. I'm glad she did. Well, we have all three clues now. Come on in, let us... Here, that's the casket. Left, right, left. Yes, that sounds good. Yes, it worked. By the righteous path, it worked. Yes, this is just like you, isn't it? This is you. I know I've said this 100 times before, but again, thank you for all this. To read these lines, it's as if she were here. Only for a moment. I promise to compensate you for your efforts. I think I could teach you a thing or two about my craft, about locks. Or maybe I can give you a more general tip. What do you say? All right, let me think. The way a lock sounds when you knock at it can be crucial to how it works. The next time you need to open a lock... Now, I would appreciate it if you gave me some time alone. I need to talk to Vera. And I need to make sure what's in this casket doesn't get lost. Thank you again. I will never forget what you did for me.
Some shifts never end.
Hey, wait a moment. You're the Neramis, aren't you? The Outlander. Well, let's put it this way. I have a pair of eyes here and there, and it's always good to know who comes into this city. Help. You're an unfamiliar face, and this is just what I need. Let me make it short. I'm a businessman. In Ark, most inns only pour 2 drinks. On the one hand, my beer. On the other hand, now, the thing is, the Riverville Brewery and I have a deal going. And unfortunately, the new and this is why I want your help. I need someone to aid me in serving some retributive justice, so to speak. Well, aren't you one to judge quickly? But fine, who am I to force you? Maybe you'll change your mind.
As I said, the offer stands. Just think about it, okay?
I will. Take care.
Yes, who should say that?
Hey, you came. Come on, take a seat. So, tell me, how are you holding up? It must have been quite the whirlwind. Yesterday, a refugee from another country, and now a prodigy with a magic great enough to impress old Bushybeard. Good luck with that. I'm quite curious to see how things keep on with you. You're different. I noticed that the time we met. Anyhow, tell me, what do you make of this country now that you've had some time to look around? I figure it must be quite the change from Nerim. Shoot. Yeah, I can picture that. You know, this is exactly the reason why I love inns so much. The sky can rain fire out there. In here, you'll always meet laughter and good humor. Not to mention all the good-looking men and women. Absolutely. Though I think I've seen enough of this place by now. Of Enderal, I mean. There's a ship sailing for Calais next morning, and as it seems, it will be the last one for quite some time to come. Who knows? Maybe they still have a cabin to spare for a handsome treasure hunter. Oh well. This entire thing was more a coincidence than planned anyhow. The Order needed someone with skill and discretion, I was around. End of story. I never intended to stick around for much longer. Heck, me as an ambassador of the Holy Order, could you imagine that? Not one step further, O fair maiden. Drop your garment so we may both bathe in Malphas's holy light. Actually, not that bad, don't you think? Oh, you're too kind. But you know, at the end of the day, I guess I'd probably lack both the pathos and the idealism for such a profession. You know, I'm aware of how these esteemed keepers up there talk about sellswords like me. I could save 30 virgins from a Myrodon rampage. At the end of the day, they'd always say I did it for the money, because I wanted to bet the women, or whatever. I'm driven by inferior motives. While no matter what their actions end in, they are good guys, because they do things for the right reasons. If only they'd understand that it's results that matter, not intentions. What does the wise hermit say? Nothing is of less importance to the saved than the reason for their rescue. The only difference between a mercenary like me and a holy warden is that I'm at least aware of the fact that I do what I do for myself, and no one else. I'm trying to say that all those heroes and self-declared messiahs are no better than everyone else. In the end, we are all selfish, because we always act in accordance to what we think we have to be like. So yes, maybe the keeper saves the farmer from the bandits. But at the end of the day, he does it because he sees himself in a certain light. You know, the funny thing is that a lot of times, it's especially those who think of themselves driven by a higher purpose who are the really dangerous ones. They don't understand what drives them, and that makes them easy to manipulate. The only thing left to do for the capable hate-monger or tyrant is to somehow combine his own ambitions with the mental image of this person. And presto, you've got your perfect puppet, only waiting to dive into the next hail of arrows for their honor, their religion, or whatever they thought of this time. It's just so idiotic, you know? The world would be a much better place if everyone could just acknowledge that the only reason we're here is that we want to be happy. Yeah, seek bliss and avoid pain, as the wise hermit likes to say. And believe me, once you realize that that's how people just work, life is a lot better. Oh, yeah, I do. And this goal is called surviving. And if possible, to be able to enjoy a good glass of wine or an exciting night from time to time. Oh, Blazes, you make it sound so dramatic. Doing something for your own sake doesn't make you selfish. But yeah, basically that's it. I don't know, call it a feeling. But if there is such a thing as a universal point to our lives, then I'm pretty sure we won't find it within the pre-digested philosophies or religions most people believe in. And hey, I'd be the last one to reject this great truth if she were to knock on my door, naked and tits jiggling. But until then, I'd rather try and find my own answers. Really? I was half expecting you to throw insults at me. That's what people usually do when I tell them that. But I guess life is full of surprises. Anyway, I'll take my leave now. I very much enjoyed our talk, but the ship to Killet leaves before the first cocks crow tomorrow, and I want some more time to think about it. Keep your chin up.
Meat, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Where did I put that?
Oh, anyone?
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed?
Same shit, different day.
You're not from here, are you? I heard you talk.
The skin made of cloth, the body too small, and though I have eyes, I have always been blind. Bring my heart back to me.
My words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. A miracle has happened, a miracle that must have been, due to its sheer glory.
Hungry? I've got just...
Fiorinto Shamgas and buy fish, only the best and fresh from the Red Sea.
Apples, dates, bananas, the freshest fruits.
Greetings.
Hello.
Damn those bastards.
God will redeem you for your kindness.
Mind your own fucking business.
He has to. A sun child.
Fair enough. Maybe there's a trick or two I could show you, but trust me, they don't come cheap. Well then.
In no bed, sorry.
Isn't this nice? A sun child graces us with its presence. Conduct yourself, will you? This isn't the upper city.
My sir.
Well, well. The venerable
Ahoy.
Sunchild graces us with its presence. Come to gawk at the people worse off than you.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Rumors circulate, rumors about the horrible events of the past wars. Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Rumors circulate, rumors about the
Hungry? I've got just what a weary traveler needs.
Anything from friends and family.
Come to you.
shark catching by fish. Only the best and fresh from the Red Sea.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves.
Yes. Of course.
Fruits, vegetables, bread fresh from the oven. Treat yourself.
If it's clam and fish you seek,
Can I help you?
take a good long peek.
You just can't depend on yourselves.
Hey! You're an...
Who are you?
One day, I'm gonna be an adventurer.
Yes?
Yes.
Sensual sweetness. Touch.
Yes. Thou art my light.
You may pass, but treat this place with respect.
Have you heard it? Apparently the Blue Islands Coalition sent an emissary here to Enderal, despite the wars.
Move along.
I thought you were in the city.
What?
No,
What?
the Archmagister ordered me back. Feels good to be here.
This is
to be
holy
honest.
ground, Outlander.
Funerals.
You do not belong
I could
here.
have done without them, though.
I don't doubt that. I still can't believe that really happened. Brother Yarrow, he was such a good man.
Yes.
I don't think the Red Madness cares much about that.
Probably not, no. I wonder how it happens. The infection.
What do you mean?
Man, this just
Red eyes and the
Why
obvious
can't it
madness
ever be
only
easy?
happen in the last stages of the disease. What happens before that? And how? How can one tell someone else is afflicted?
Why? Scared you've caught it?
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
I've had this feeling that there's something wrong with Yarrow for quite some time, long before it happened.
Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work, even though part of her report seemed to be a bit... But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
The hatred only came shortly before he did it.
Sorry, but I don't really...
Oh yes? Well then listen carefully. Lucy probably hasn't told you, but the ritual was as dangerous for her as it was for you. In other words, also, she seems to see something special in you. Heck knows why, but she does. He is in the Emporium of the Temple. Just... Ah yes, before I forget. My Dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies? Very well. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
Yeah, as if.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Well met.
It is a suspicion, Teela. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Teela, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Teela, back then in Kira. And we all know...
The mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
So, you are the I am Teela Aranthiel, son of Lorius I and Grand Master of the Order. And yes, and I will come straight to... You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable. Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I. I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death
who are you?
is my son, Narazul Aranthiel. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me. Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time, the dreams. I always saw the same glaring, terrible light, heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me. Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected.
Keep walking.
He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory. The collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So, the Pyreans. 3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom. And at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end. Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably you do at this moment. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They, too, ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing. Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well. Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet. It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly. Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. even though not all of the keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself. On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future. Your visions are a window into the past, and as every cycle is based on this, you can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help. That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die? Hollow words. Deep inside, you know your responsibility. Trust me, we are more alike than you believe. Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test. It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have... At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival. At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myrid, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the... I do not believe you can do any real harm. But in the worst case, path-abiding people will after the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our... No, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.